What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm going to be continuing to show you how to make Poppy Playtime Chapter 2 in Minecraft. This is part 41, and in this one, we're going to be finishing off statues entirely, except for these little observation rooms on the side. The pipes and the rocks at the back will not be block for block. Well, some of the pipes will be. But I'll explain how I go about doing that, and I should hopefully have a video linked for you of me literally doing it live. So, yeah, that is really all, though. So, with that being said, enjoy the tutorial, and I will catch you on the flip side. Let's finish off the walls and stuff, shall we? So, the materials you'll be needing to literally just, like, do this first entire section are going to be light blue concrete, gray concrete, glass panes, polished deep slate walls, and probably black concrete. Not necessarily, but we'll go with it just anyway. So, as mentioned, we have the right wall here. So from the bottom, you should have right now 6, 7, 8, 9. You should check that. Check it. You should have 9 rows. You're going to add an additional 3 on top of it the entire length. So you should have 12 in total from the bottom, at least from what's visible from the inside. Hopefully everyone is having a good day or night. I am for the most part. Went to a concert last night, so I'm a little tired, but it was fun. Very fun. 10 out of 10 would do again. I technically held true to that because that was the second time I saw specifically them. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of unrelated. In case anybody cares, that's kind of where I'm at. So anyway, you should have this. There's going to be one more check we're going to do, and it's going to be this front wall. Depending on how far you filled it back, you'll have a different number, but for me, I have 10. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you know what's nice about that? That's actually the exact number we need at the beginning here. So, we're going to start going back here, and we're going to place just for a brief second here, 13 gray concrete. And so, I'm just going to check the corner position here. I'm going to see it's in line with that warp fence just beyond the stone brick wall. Yeah, the stone brick wall, and I'll make sure the Y coordinate of it is in line with the first light blue on the little doorway to enter. And you see if I just trace along the wall, that is correct. It's on that bottom one. So that's good. Everything lines up. Hold on, I'm just... Okay. So from this point, you're going to just do alternating 14 light blue concrete and 13 gray concrete going back until pretty much the end of time. Specifically, you're going to want 6 rows of the 13 gray. So, again, 14 light blue next. 13 gray. 14 light blue. Ooh, that was terrible counting. It's 13 gray, whatever this one is. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and etc. Ignore or no. Enjoy. There we go. I got there. The block placing sound should be that, right? Yeah. And then I think it's one more. You'll know when you're lined up. Actually, it's one more after this. If you are familiar with at least chapter 2, you'll know when you are where you should be. I think that would be 14. Trying to count and place at the same time is just not it. And yeah, you should end up there. And you see that is 6. I didn't even have to count the 6. I just knew where it was positioned based on the warped. So, the other thing I will kind of mention briefly here is where the last gray is in line with, or the first gray of the last section, I should say. It's going to be in line with the, like, third to last cyan concrete on this thing. And I'm going to confirm that that is correct. Yes. Nice. From this point, it's kind of give or take, but I have 25 light blue concrete beyond this. And then beyond that, I'll have a row of black concrete, and I can actually connect this into the other walls. And I'll bring the black concrete across. And once it looks like I'm lined up, I'll just like trace forward and making sure I'm in the same Y level, and I'll bring the light blue concrete back. Not necessarily a huge thing yet, but that'll be more so important for the rocks when we get there. Although that's not anytime soon. So, yeah, what you want to do is bring each side gray concrete up by 5. And then connect them together at that top row. And just kind of create these rectangles. You also need glass blocks, by the way. Did I not use panes? Did I use blocks? No, I just used blocks for that one, okay. Oh my god. There we go. One thing I will mention, I said in the last part I'm not going to be doing the pipes. Except for the, like, I guess mandatory ones. Partially a lie, because there's a couple pipes that you do need, and I'm at least going to tell you where they need to kind of... The spot you need the pipe to be in. Because, you know, I think that one specifically I just brought forward until the end of time, the one that I know we need. So, with those, like, it's not really a huge deal. Other than just making sure you know exactly where they are. So, anyway. With the exception of the back one, you want to go in the center of these and going front to back or back to front, doesn't matter. You'll just place 2 glass panes, polished deep slate wall, 2 glass panes, polished deep slate wall, 2 glass panes, and polished deep slate wall, and 2 glass panes, and you'll extend that all the way up. Again, just leave the last one open. We're going to be pretty much doing the same thing, just it's glass blocks, and I think there's one other change. As in the window's broken, that would be the change. You could actually make it not broken if you wanted and just use panes. The only reason I use blocks is because it gave me the... How do I word things? I don't know how to word things. It gave me the ability to use panes as another layer of the glass. So I could essentially make shards better. Kind of hard to explain, but... If you've seen me, like, do it before... like that, you'll know what I'm talking about. I did it, I guess it would have been recently as of recording this, but it probably would have been like multiple months ago in the first part of the custom mascot horror game I'm making in Minecraft. Well, obviously, because I'm talking about Minecraft blocks, so... Gee, really? Thought I was talking about Five Nights at Freddy's, darn. Making a game in FNAF, I mean, like, you could, like, play some hide and seek. I don't know. Although FNAF isn't multiplayer. I want a multiplayer FNAF game now. Could you imagine? Project Playtime, but FNAF. Not that it had to be specifically Project Playtime. That's just the first example that came to my mind. Like, Security Breach multiplayer would be cool. Being able to, like, be multiple kids at the same time. Anyway, or I guess having multiple kids in the, Pizzaplex at the same time. Anyway, you should have this for the ones we have. The other one, you're going to do the same thing with glass blocks instead of panes, but leave the back panel open. So basically you want 2 glass, wall, 2 glass, wall, 2 glass, wall. And you'll bring all that up. For these rooms, except for this one, we're going to end up structure blocking them, probably, or at least I will. And then we'll have to change that one because of reasons. For the back panel, we're going to go left to right in each row, and I'll tell you if you're looking at it, and I'll tell you the blocks. It'll be left, it'll be glass pane, and then right, it'll be glass pane, or glass block on the left, pane on the right for the first row. Next row is pane on the left. Next row is pane on the right, and the next row is block on the right. And it should give you that. You can do whatever you want, that's just what I did. From this point, you can extend all the light blue concrete up to the height of whatever it should be. I don't particularly have the number. Oh, how high is it? It should be 7 rows above this, I think. Above the gray. But obviously it's going to be more than 7 in certain spots. Because you do have to worry about the, you know, between the windows. You can bring the light blue at the back up as well. I'm going to, just because, whatever. So... is it gonna be here? I think so. Okay, no, it's not. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7 should be there. Yeah, okay, and then I'll just fill everything else manually. Actually, I'll fill this too. You know what? No, I can slash fill it. I'll have to break where the back panel is, but... or where the holes are in that one. But I can slash fill this if I do keep. I just gotta make sure I do keep, because if I don't, then, you know, we're gonna have problems. Keep does not start with an N, last time I checked. Imagine one day they just, like, randomly changed a word in the dictionary. Just, like, I don't know, spelled it differently. Like, spelled keep, I don't know, C-K-E-E-P-E or something. Like, why? It'd be kind of funny. That'd be a funny prank to pull. I'll also bring the light blue over here up on this side. Only this back portion. I'm not going to bring it down yet because you'll see why. But actually, you won't see why. That's a lie. Nice. What we can do now is I'll bring the black concrete up to the same height, and then we can fill in the ceiling a block above what we have with light blue concrete. Again, slash filling, just please do it. If you can. I don't need to explain why I am, because, you know. But yeah, it's gonna, so again, if you just like take the top layer of the walls, you go a block up, and we should, do we have it marked? I don't think we have it marked, no. It'll just be a block above everything, that's all you need to know. And that'll give you the size of statues. I'm gonna definitely trap myself out here. How many blocks do you think this will be? I'm gonna guess 3849. Okay, I was way off. 5,000. Almost on the dot. Not quite, though. So yeah, it should look like this. I guess if the ceiling's a block lower, no one will notice. Yeah, but I mean, that's the bulk of what we need. So, we'll worry about the rooms later, I think. I don't really want to do them. So, what we can do is we can do some of the pipes and similar stuff. So start by getting out the following. Pale oak fence, dark oak fence gates, bamboo fence gates, bamboo slabs, chains, nether brick fence, sea lanterns, and spruce trap doors. You'll have to bear with me because I don't have a lot of this noted down, but I will do my best to do what I can, and then if I have to make a cut, then so be it. You want to head to the back, or the, I guess, yeah, the final window, and what you want to do is just over at this, like, top left gray concrete. If you're looking at it, you're going to place a dark oak fence gate off this light blue. Extend it right with a bamboo fence gate, dark oak fence gate, and then 3 pale oak fences. Also left of this, you just want 1 pale oak fence, like so. Why is this here? Why are you swinging into the glass? Anyway, in front of that, you're going to place an upside down bamboo slab off this light blue concrete, and you'll just bring it, I believe, all the way across, and it should connect into the other wall, yes. Instead of giving you the pattern, I'm going to just tell you, because it's like a large number between, I'm just going to tell you where they are, because they're mostly above each window. If you take the next window, it's going to be the direct center of it, above this polished cheapside wall. You're taking the light blue concrete above and just going across with the upside down bamboo slabs. The next window, it'll... Actually, is it just above the center in each window? It totally is, yeah. Just go above the center of each window with that. I apologize. I thought it was off for some reason, but no. Just on each of them going across. That makes our life easier. I looked at it, I was like, is it the same? No, I don't think it is, but it was. I'm blind, I guess. Nice. As for the chains, I guess I'll give you the pattern for this. Off of, I think, either side, you want to, I'll start from the right here. Leave a gap of 5, and then on the 6th bamboo slab, you're going to place a chain. Then you'll just keep leaving gaps of 5 and placing chains. Is there a gap of 6, though? Nope, we're good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know if this is at a 1 or a 2 block center. And yeah, it'll just be literally just gaps of 5 between each chain and between the walls, and you'll bring chains up from the slabs there. These are going to be so annoying to place. These might take a minute because, yeah, chains. I go like this, but that only gives me 3 additional chains. I guess if I had Elytra Fluid, would give me another one, but yeah. Why don't they just, like, make it work properly? Is that too much to ask for? Anyway, that's one of the things with making these builds that always, like, kills me. Specifically, it's been a problem with, Poppy Playtime in general, because I had the same problem with Playcare, and just, like, having to think ahead about, do I want a 1 or a 2 block center in the room? And, like, especially for, you know, the game station, I had to think from the... You figure from the slides at, like, the beginning, all the way to statues, like, I really had to push that out, but, I mean, I ended up going to the 1 block center because of I thought the pathos would be better with 1, but Playcare is a 2 block center. I don't know if it's a 2x2 or not. I'm not sure because obviously it's not symmetrical in any way. The only reason I knew I wanted the 2-block center was for the door under the statues, but of course that didn't end up mattering anyway because it's not centered. But or the statues aren't centered actually, but yeah, it ended up like I marked the center at some point because I remember paying attention to it, I think, or like one of the clips I took. I have 3 clips right now of play care that I'm using that I recorded. It's a nightmare. One was for walls, one was for the main thing, and the other is basically like as you're coming down on the cart ride. But I remember noting where the center was because I feel like a 2-block center is what I'm gonna need, just based on the fact that the trolley is gonna, or I guess the cart, whatever you want to call it, is gonna be a 2-block center, and I feel like because of the hole that comes through would obviously have to be symmetrical on it. I just think the 2 is gonna end up being what it is, but I do feel like a 1x1 would make more sense for the fan and just for the circle in general. I don't know why. Doing circles on 2-block centers is always weird, but then again, if the circle is like 1,000 blocks wide, then you know it's not a problem. It's not 1,000 blocks wide. It's we're like 150, I would say, or it will be. Anyway, you should have this. Nice. I think we can do lights now, I guess. Assuming I can actually figure this one out. Okay, yeah, no, we're good. So, we're going to kind of use the stuff around us along with just the ceiling in general. So, it's all going to be centered between the 2 chains. You can literally just, like, trace up and forward. And if you're on the very first light blue concrete, you'll count back by just a singular 1 and place a nether brick fence. Leave a gap of 1, going back, place another nether brick fence. We're going to do a lot of the lights here, and then basically, or we're going to mark a lot of them, and then I'll explain which ones need to be brought up a certain amount. If you keep heading back in line with the center, you want to be over the, I believe is it the first or the second bamboo slab? It is the first bamboo slab, this very first one here, and you'll place another brick fence on the ceiling. Then forward with a gap of 1 and another fence. You can then keep tracing backwards, and you're gonna want to be a block before the fence on like this cyan concrete little cube pit, the foam cube pit. You want to be right here over this warped plank or slab, whatever, and you'll place another brick fence on the ceiling with a gap of 1 moving forward and another one. Sometimes we'll go forward, sometimes we'll go backward. I'll just make sure to specify, obviously. The next one is just before the next bamboo slab thing. If you are between the chains, you'll count forward block, fence, forward 2, fence. The next one is going to be, keep tracing back, and again, like look down as you do this, you're going to be just where the medium slide starts to turn, this singular mangrove fence, or mangrove plank diagonal, and you'll place another brick fence on the ceiling. This one is a gap of 1 moving backward and another fence. The next one is going to be between these 2 chains on this bamboo slab, just the next one. Gap of 1 forward, or nether brick fence again, whatever, something like that. The next one, if you keep going back and look down, you're going to be just beyond this first cube on this warped plank, and you'll place another brick fence. Back 1, or gap of 1 going back, another brick fence. The next one is actually centered on the next bamboo slab thing, so if you just like trace up from this block, you'll have a fence both in front of and behind that particular block. The next one is going to be on the, like, in line with the front left-hand corner of the final cube of bamboo. Place another brick fence, gap of 1 forward, another brick fence. 2 more. Next one is in line or in the middle of the final bamboo slab. Gap of 1 going back, another brick fence from that. And then the final one, if you take the mangrove, basically, I guess if you trace back, still make sure you're in the center row. You'll be in line with the front mangrove plank, and this is light blue wool that should be below you there. You'll place another brick fence on the ceiling, gap of 1 back, another brick fence. These do not all get brought down the same distance. That's the fun part here. So we'll start from the front, and I'm just going to go through each of them one by one. A lot of them are the same, like the back ones pretty much are, but I think there's 3 that are lower. Yeah, it's 2 different levels of them, so I'll just give you them as we go. The first 2 sets, you want to bring the fences down by 6. I'm just going to bring 1 down on each for now. Because that'll give me at least the general gist. Like so. You should then have a fairly large gap. Well, kind of, I guess. Am I missing one here? I think I actually am, aren't I? Yeah, there should be one before this bamboo slab here by, what, 2 blocks? Yeah, 2 blocks in front of this bamboo here. If you count forward 2, fence, forward 2 again, fence. But these 2 fences are brought down by 2 anyway. So you should see where that one's placed. Just beyond, or just in front of the second bamboo slab row. Anyway, the next one is also 2 fence down. Next one is 6. And the rest of them are 2. I'm just going to leave them because I know that they're all 2. Or 1, excuse me, not 2. So the other 2 would also be 1 down then, yeah. So, well, actually, I'll just trim these down a block. Boink, and boink. But yeah, and I'll give you the number in case you, just so we can confirm that we have all of them right. It looks like that is 7 right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if I check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, I'm right. So yeah, again, each of these fences are brought down by 1 or the other ones that are 6. Which we already mentioned. Yeah. I did warn you and say I didn't have notes, to be fair. Although that was also not something I should have messed up. I don't know how I saw 2 as 3, but we'll move on from that and keep building lights, because it's what I do best. Not really. If lights are the peak of my building, then we're gonna have serious problems, I think. Just like in general. That would be pretty embarrassing. It's funny to think about, though. It's like, oh, what's the best thing you've built in Minecraft? Oh, you know, just some light bulbs. Anyway, you should have this. And then you know the drill. Sea lanterns below them that connect together in the rows of 3 with spruce trap doors wrapped around them on all sides. Wow, wait, is it just because... Huh, that's interesting. Did I have anything? No, I didn't. And yeah. And then after this, I think it's pipes. I feel like it's pipes. Unless there's something obvious that I'm missing, but I don't really think that there is. As for the pipes, I went for the larger ones, and again, the important ones as based on the build, and then I just added a bunch because I felt like it. Mainly in the area, like the little crevices down there. We might want to do rocks first, actually. Well, no, I guess not. Because I'd say, like, it's just so you can avoid them and know where they are, so you don't have to pull pipes through them, but I guess it'd probably make more sense to pull the pipes through anyway, because then you would end up having, I guess, a more realistic look in that sense, because you would presume that pipes would be going through them anyway. It's not like they were there when statues began. It'd be a really interesting thought, actually, if the rocks were always intentional, and that, there was never an end to statues, and that was just immediately how they got the test subjects. PJ knocked out the kids. That's a really weird thought. But also, like, we have no evidence that there was a fully working statues. I guess we don't have evidence that any of them fully worked, now that I'm thinking about it. Other than Wacko-Wuggy. Wacko-Wuggy didn't really have any problems. Well, I guess musical memory didn't either until it gave us the impossible level, but... Maybe Mommy Longlegs was doing some coding, I don't know. Anyway, you should have this. Yeah, we'll do some of the pipes. I might need to take a cut, though, because I feel like that one... I won't yet. I'll get some of the other ones out of the way, or the, like... I think there's one important one, or 2. Yeah, there's 2 I'll add out of the prismarine bricks on this wall. And I will show you on the original what is going on, just so you can kind of copy it if you want. Firstly, actually, there is a cobweb I want to build before we do anything else. If you come to the front, it's going to be like the top front right-hand corner, but it's not the very front wall, it's like the wall behind it. So it's where the wall comes up here, it's just going to be this corner. I kind of have it almost like a couple blocks off the bottom of the wall there, and it kind of just goes around like this. And I'm just using cobwebs here, but when I did the original one, I did the same thing where I used the pale oak fence and white stained glass panes, and I thought that it gives you kind of a better droopy effect. But it is up to you what you want to do. I just feel like that's a whole lot of extra effort, and it's hard to make look good, so I would just use cobwebs. But that'll be something I'll probably show when I show the other one anyway. So let's start off by getting out the following again. There will be more pipes than I probably would have intended originally, but that's okay. Get out stone bricks, red nether bricks, red nether brick walls, prismarine brick slabs, prismarine bricks, stone, stone stairs, and I think that's everything we'll need. I guess red nether brick slabs wouldn't hurt, but they're not going to be mandatory for the pipes I'll show you. So, starting off here, just in front of this very front window, you're going to place a row of red nether bricks from the top to the bottom here. Just behind it, below the window, you'll leave like 2 light blue concrete below, and then place a row of red nether brick walls behind that. Not the top nether brick on this row, but one down. You're going to go in front of it and place a row of stone bricks going across left to right here. Really, one of 2 other pipes I want to emphasize is just to the left of the hole here in the ceiling where PJ climbs down. You're going to place a row of upside down prismarine brick slabs off the light blue concrete. And you're going to take this all the way back. And it should go just below the bamboo slabs, as you can see, and it shouldn't hit anything in theory. It might hit the black concrete wall. It depends on if you have it low enough. I think we do here. But yeah, it's... I don't know what this pipe is doing, but it goes the distance. And if you want to add chains and stuff connecting it up, I didn't, but... that might be smart, because I do feel like just making it floating doesn't quite make sense. So you could pretend like the bamboo are little braces for it that hold it up, even though they aren't connected. So yeah, as mentioned, I have a couple on the ceiling, but I'm not going to get fully into that. The only other one that is truly important that isn't the giant stone ones that I want to make are pretty much all the way back here. If you come to the backmost window, you want to leave a 1 block gap behind it from the gray and place a row of prismarine bricks that goes all the way up to the ceiling, except you're leaving a half a block gap, so you'll place a slab, and then 1 block further down than the gray. So it'll kind of look like this. That slab at the top I'll bring back with a block and then just upside down slabs into oblivion. And the bottom I'll bring this prismarine brick forward with a slab, down with an upside down slab, and then I'll go forward with upside down slabs again, pretty much into oblivion. You do want to at some point stop. Let me see where I did. I stopped before or just after the second to last window, which should be the next one actually. Like I'll stop 1 block beyond it, like so. And then I'll place a prismarine brick in front, then a slab, and then bring that slab down to the ground with prismarine bricks. The stone pipes, how much of this can I do without notes, do you think? I won't force it, obviously, if it isn't working, but I kind of want to see if I can get it done, because I can just use the measurements again. If you take the anvil at the very front here, this little guy, you're going to count right of it by 1, and I think back by 1, and you should just, like, look up, and you'll be just beyond the wall. You'll bring stone down from here, and you want to bring it down until you're 3 blocks lower than this light blue concrete wall there. Extend that stone right a row, and then either of those rows back a row. Behind this back row, you'll place stone stairs facing back, and then under the front row, you'll place upside down stone stairs facing forward. From those stairs, you'll go forward with blocks, or back with blocks, excuse me, down with upside down stairs, and then back with stone blocks from there. And the spot you want to stop will end up being, what is it, 2 past the first warp fence you'll find, which is going to be this little, like, tall thing where we have the little loops. It's the loops you can swing through in the game, but like you see, it's this warp fence. I'll place 1 there, and then I'll go back an additional 2. I'll place an additional row of stone on top of that row that'll extend back an additional 1 from it. And then I'll place upside down stone stairs off the back of both rows. The back 2x2, which is the stairs and blocks, I'll bring up with stone until I'm 2 blocks off the wall, so I can actually just go on top of it and fly up, and then eventually, when I can't place any more blocks because I'm in the way, then I'll stop. In the inner corner of this really stretched U, you'll place stone stairs there, along with stone stairs on top of this, like, front row at the back. You'll then place blocks on top, and then stairs on top of, or blocks on top of the back row, and then stairs on top of those blocks. And then from there, you're going to go back with stone. There's really no good point to, like, reference this to, but if you bring it back with stone blocks, I'll bring the right row just because it's going to be, you're going to have, like, the spot of the mangrove where it's going to go, you see 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, and then that will be the end. You're going to be on the third to last 2, which is going to be, you're going to be in line with the first half of it, which is going to be right there. You see, it's this slab, specifically. Just beyond that window as well, the second window. And then I'll bring that row of stone, or I'll bring those both rows, and I'll also bring it all down, so it's, you know, a 2x2 still. Have upside down stone stairs here under the front corner. And then, from the end here, you want to go, or you want to bring the right row back with stone, and then those end 2 rows both right with stone until you are just to the right of that prismarine brick pipe we made earlier by a block, which will actually be right there. Yeah, that's crazy. And again, you want a full 2x2. I'll place stone blocks in this inner corner again. I'll extend the back row of stone right an additional row, and then I'll bring those end 2 rows again back until I am a block before the next light, which is going to be this one with the 6 fences. You see, I'll end up on the light blue before it, and then I'll, you know, bring it all back. It'll actually go further back, and it will end up clipping through the fence in a sec. Again, you'll place blocks in the inner corner from the, like, just bend you just made, and then you'll end up bringing the left row here back an additional row. And then those end 2 rows can be brought all the way left until you are 2 blocks off of the end wall. And if you have another brick fence in your way, just get rid of them. So again, 2 off the wall will be there, and then I'll do this, and then this, and whatever. Sounds like a fun time. Guess what? Stone blocks in the inner corner that we just made. Left of the top row here, you want stone stairs facing left. Left of the bottom row, you want stone blocks, and then stairs facing left. And then these end 2 rows you'll bring down with stone until... well, I'll just give you a number, actually, this time, because it's going to make more sense. You'll go down with what should be 10 stone. I can't really give you a number, or like a measurement there, because there's no good measurement that would make sense. This pipe is not even almost done, don't worry. You then place upside down stone stairs in the inner corner there. And underneath the front row, you want more upside down stone stairs. Underneath the back row, you want blocks and then upside down stairs. Bottom 2 rows, you'll bring back with stone blocks until you are in line with, or just before the 4th bamboo cube on that area. So I'm going to just like bring it back here. And I'll see. It should be between these 2. 1 is there, that's 2, that's 3, and then this would be 4 here. So I'll be on the block before, which should be this one. So I have to go 1 further. And then, yeah. If you are off by a block on any of these, don't worry. I was, like, just hoping and praying when I was making this pipe to get it accurate. Because, like, I was obviously focused on not getting wrecked by PJ. Guess what? Stone stairs on the corner, or the bend we just made. The previous one. Then from here, you're going to go back up, and you're pretty much just replicating the other side, actually. Upside down stone stairs off the bottom row. Top row will be blocks, and then upside down stone stairs again. And 2 rows will be brought up with blocks until you're 2 off the ceiling. Don't forget the stone stairs on the bend. And then you want stairs on top of the row against the wall. They want to be facing into the wall, which is a little bit annoying to place, so... yeah, I guess if you want first, you can place the blocks to the right with the stairs on top of those. And then you can just place the stairs off the blocks, which should be easier. Then, again, I'll give you a number because it's not really particularly important. You want to go right of each of these top blocks with 4 stone. Crazy. So many stone. The back row, you'll bring right an additional row with stone. And then from this point, you want to bring those end 2 rows of stone just back as far as you want, really. And here you should be... whoopsies, I might not be far enough. Yeah, I usually go one row further, maybe. So you don't hit the chain. That's just kind of one little thing. But yeah, this stone will end up ending... is there anything down that will help us? Not particularly. So you're going to be like 4 blocks further maybe than the light. What is it, this third light? No, it'll be the one before the swingy thing. So this light right here, I'm gonna go like 4 beyond. So that looks like 2. 4 is there. And you'll kind of see I'm, like, I think 2 blocks behind that cube there. It looks like it about. And that does seem to be the same that I have, so. And yeah, there's nothing else here. That's the pipe. You'll just make the 2x2 of stone. You'll place the blocks on the inner corner here on the left side. And the upside down stone stairs as well under the previous bend, because we forgot about that. But yeah, that's kind of what you have, honestly. It's just a giant pipe. Now, I'm going to hit you with a lot here, because this is really where I'm going to end the part, and we're going to have statues finished, other than the actual rooms themselves, like the side rooms, but that's not important. So I think instead of explaining this on this version, I'm going to show you on the other one. So if I, head here, look, it's me looking at the pipe. You can kind of see what I have as far as the pipes are concerned. There's no thought process behind this. It's just make pipes, make them bend in funny directions, and that's kind of what you're doing. Obviously, do consider, maybe, like, physical abilities. Like, would this pipe stay up? No, probably not, but it's still here, so. And nobody will see it anyway. I mean, like, these ones are more important. Maybe you should probably add these. You see, they're, like, a little bit lower than the height of this, and you just got 4 of them, and they'll go pretty much back all the way. This pipe will get in the way. But again, like, some of this I did do block for block, but a lot of it was just me being like, yeah, what if there was a pipe here? And you know, that was pretty much my thought process. But yeah, I don't see the need personally to show you every single pipe, because, well, that would take so long for a detail that really hasn't mattered overall throughout the build. Obviously, I know in some rooms it does, but, like, for a room like this, who cares? I know there's a room later that has, like, a bunch of pipes that I will show you how to do block for block. But yeah, ignore the signs again. Actually, I'm going to remove these right now. But yeah. And you can kind of just see, basically, if you want to try to copy at least roughly them block for block, you don't even try to get them perfect, because there's no point, then yeah, that is absolutely an option. But yeah, and you see this side here, same thing, just a bunch of random pipes. This one is more, I feel like. More prismarine brick for sure, not much red nether brick. But yeah. As for this stuff, I don't want to show this block for block, because there's just no good way to do it. I'll go back to the other one before the end, and I'll just kind of almost show you how I would do the shaping. But again, like, you should be able to hopefully look at this and copy it sort of block for block. Here's the mangrove, by the way, and you see that's just behind it. And yeah, if you want to try to copy it block for block, you can. I wouldn't worry about texturing necessarily. Base block is cobbled deep slate. It's like deep slate bricks, cracked deep slate bricks, basalt, mud, polished deep slate, I think. I don't see it, but I feel like I used it. And as you can see, there's a bunch of stone pressure plates and stone buttons. And then the, like, blocks in here if you want to add those. Even if you make it different, the general thing you want to make sure is that you have on either side where it goes higher, and then it kind of dips down and goes in the middle. Now, I did go through a couple iterations of this. And you see at the bottom here, you can't see it anyway, so I just kind of made it, like, almost bleed out. But yeah, I think I ended up going through 3 different iterations of the shaping before I finally got it right. Like, honestly, play with it. Although, it also doesn't matter a ton. Like, you could just go with whatever. Just kind of make sure it doesn't look terrible. And I'll show you the other one as well in the corner. This one is a little bit more specific, I think. You kind of want to keep it sort of like this, to where it starts fairly wide and then it goes in, and at the top it dips out a little, or comes back out a little bit more. But you do want to make sure a lot of this black concrete is still open, and you don't want to go outside of it at all, obviously. And then here's kind of what the bottom's looking like. Is there not polished deep set in here? Maybe not. I guess not. I want to texture with polished deep set if I textured this yesterday. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of what you're going for. Again, I'll go back to the original, and I'm not going to give you block for block, but I'm just going to kind of show you the general process of what I was doing when I did this. I also think there is a Twitch VOD in which I built these in. If I remember, I'll link it at the top or something, if I can find which one it was. But I do feel like I worked on this particular part of statues in a Twitch VOD, and you can just skip through it to find it if you would like. But again, it took me more than one try to at least get the back one right. This one I think I just did first try, but yeah. So here I'm with my cobble deep slate blocks and slabs, and again, I'm just gonna kind of go like up against this, and I'll just kind of go, you know, shape like this maybe. I think you should probably, or it'd be recommended to get the bottom shape first, because that is gonna be what helps you make sure everything else kind of works. And like, I don't really like that being so many 2 diagonals, so maybe I'll make that a 4, and even go like 3, 3 or something. And just kind of for like here, maybe I'll go up, and then I'll go in, and then at the top I can go back out a little bit, just kind of like that. And really, once you do it on one row, you could do it even on both sides. Like, I'll just go, I guess I'll go here because I don't, well, no, I can go up against the wall because it'll end up dipping technically out and will be visible anyway. But, like, you can pretty much just do 2 lines and then kind of just connect them, honestly. Like, make sure, obviously, you understand, I guess, how the shaping works, because there would be a point to where you'll be going in another row and you'll have to kind of make sure that that stays the same. The other thing is, try not to make too many of the same, like, pattern. So, for example, like here, if I were to be making this, I don't want this kind of one diagonal just continuing. And I guess same with here. Like, maybe I'd end up going for this, or I'd go there, and then here, and then here, and then I go, like, there, maybe. Something like that. Just to kind of keep it a little bit different. And you also can just use slabs to thwart that at all, or entirely, and just not have it happen. Like, if you see it happening, just pop a couple slabs in there and you're good to go. But, yeah, that's kind of how I went with the front one. The back one is a lot more complicated, though. So I would maybe start with the front. I know I showed the back first. But, like, and obviously black concrete and light blue you might have to bring out or back or whatever. If you want to just fill that entirely in, you can. But, like, I'll just kind of start by marking out something in the, like, floor here. And then I could just really, like, almost get the shape in the middle that I would want, and just like know how far back I'd be there, and then just kind of bring it forward on the sides. And again, this might not even be particularly perfect, because it wasn't particularly or very easy in any way to make this work properly, but again, I will just kind of try to avoid getting too frustrated. Like, I don't really think that's particularly great, although I think it would work. I just have to make sure that obviously the sides here would maybe go up like this, and then the middle ends up going, like, kind of like this or something. Just to keep it from going as high. And you see that is a fairly good, I think, difference between heights. But try not to get too frustrated with it, and don't really worry about it being perfect, because I don't really feel like it should be perfect in any way. But honestly, yeah, that's how I would do it, is I would start with just kind of marking out different lines, and if you, especially like with this one, having a line in the middle will really help you, just so you can kind of know how you would transfer this into that. And essentially, like, you could just really, like, go like this, and almost make each shape individually, like the sides here, and then just leave yourself with the middle, and just kind of fill the middle between what you want. That might have been what I did, I really don't remember. But anyway, again, yeah, hopefully that video, that Twitch VOD should be linked if it is there. It should be there. I don't know why I wouldn't have saved it. But anyway, yeah, that being said, thank you all so much, guys did enjoy this video. That statue's done, and that is part 41. Have a fantastic rest of your day or night, though, with that being said. And I will see you on the next one. Aw, man. Bye.